Hey, it's Charlie. I wanted to demo what Razru can do that's super unique, which is extending the architecture of one codebase versus another. So I'm currently creating marketplace recipe books for everyone to use as an extension for their particular code repository. So if I were to go in here and I were to edit this particular recipe book, I have the ability to assign this as Angular programming language. And then what I can do is that if I wanted to, right now I'm currently adding the ability to have a authentication config for my library. If I were to go in and attempt to add this particular feature, I can now go in here and say, okay, I want to actually use the core architecture for Angular for common services. So now I'm going to search for common services, and I'm going to choose the common services lib. So now what it's going to do, if I just refresh this, just to be on the safe side. So if I were to look at this common services lib, it now has given me the architecture, the folder file structure for the services lib. So I want to create a folder called auth, and I want to add in a auth config inside of my common services folder. So let's create this auth config.ts. I want to say export auth config equals yada yada and URL XYZ. So now I've piped in this completely separate recipe book that has nothing to do with the core architecture, or it's completely different code base as far as everything's concerned. And I'm still able to tie into one particular part of the architecture, which is the create services lib, and I'm able to just drag and drop that file in there. So now, anytime that anyone wants to go ahead and generate this, when they go to razru.com, they just immediately see at a scalpel level where that file is going to go and how it's going to tie into my own particular code base. This is really unique. It will help with, it ties into our whole software architect as an application, and it's going to help and make sure that the architecture and everything is sound and that it's all tied together. Even if it's completely a separate code base, it can still tie into the parent architecture.